Hello, welcome to my new video. Today I will talk to you about books that I got in the month of June. Some of them I bought new. I bought one book new in the bookshop. Some of them I bought in the second-hand shop, and some of them I was sent by my sweet mama back in Lithuania. So maybe I will start with those that I was sent. One of them is The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. I remember I saw the film first and then decided to read the book, and I loved that book so much at that time. I really want to actually reread this. So this book is one of the books that have traveled a lot, let's just say it like that. I think I bought that book when I lived in England, I think 5 years ago. After that I came back to live in Lithuania, and after half a year I went to live to the Norway. So this book has traveled a lot. Another book that I was sent by my mama was Gillian Flynn Sharp Objects. This one. I have also read this one. She didn't bought me those books, she just sent me my books that are still in Lithuania. Yeah, so this one I also bought when I was living in England. I have in same edition Gone Girl and Dark Places. So now I have all three books here. They look so pretty together. I like the colors of the spine of the font. They look good on my shelves. The other book that I also bought in England and that traveled a lot was The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. I heard that a lot of good things about Maureen Johnson books, but I have never read one, and I think this is book one in the series, A Shade of London book. I don't know, I'm not sure. I even don't remember what this book is about, but I think it's about Jack the Ripper or something like that. So it sounds quite interesting, young adult book. I think I will try to read it quite soon, because I'm in the mood for spooky books in the middle of the summer. The other one is very strange but very pretty cover, and I think I found it in England also in one of the second-hand shops, and I bought it maybe for £1 or £2. So it's the Goddess Guide. Don't ask me. But it's quite interesting to just go flip through. I don't know what it's about. Breakfast, kitchen, gym kit, markets, denim. I think it's a little bit about fashion, about food or something like that. I don't know, just Guide to be a Goddess, let's just say it like that. Yeah, so I don't have high hopes for this book for sure, but I'll try to read and giggle a little bit. And it looks pretty. The other book my mama bought this time for me and sent, it's a Lithuanian edition, Devintas Kapas, by Stefan Arnhem. I think it's a Swedish thriller. One of the Sweden minister just disappears, and I think there will be two detectives that try to find out what happened with him. So I also heard a lot of great things about this book, so I'm planning to read it this month. It's in my TBR video also. Another one I also bought when I lived in England It's The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien. However, I bought another edition here in Norway. It's this one, and this one has some illustrations, and I think because I love this story so much, it's one of my favorites. So I'll keep both of these books, and I think when I reread this once again, because I read them quite a lot now, I think I will annotate this one with the illustrations. So I will keep both of those books. Another 3 books that my mom, she didn't buy them for me, but she just loaned me to read. It's by Russian author Alexandra Marinina. I'm not sure what it's actually about. I think there's 3 books in this series, and it has the plot happens in different time periods. I think the first one is in the First World War. Second book is, I don't know. As I suppose it's about one family, in the few generations of one family, I think. But I read her books. She usually writes very interesting thrillers. So I love her books, so I will try to read this one quite soon also, and then I think I will enjoy them quite a lot. And they look very pretty. Interesting how they look under the dust jacket. Oh, pretty. Oh, very pretty color. Oh, very pretty pastel color. I think this one is my favorite. Now, in Norway we have Fretex. It's a second-hand shop where you can buy almost everything from the decorations to the clothes to the books to the shoes, and everything is there. I go there mainly for books because you can find almost new books for very, very cheap price. So this time I got a book by Beth Hoffman, Saving Cece Honeycutt, and Camille Sugar Baker Honeycutt. The pretty but crazy 1951 Vidala Onion Queen dies suddenly. Her 12-year-old daughter Cece is whisked away by her great aunt Tutti to the fabled city of Savannah in the most magnificent car Cece has ever seen. Soon, among the sweet scent of magnolias and the loving warmth of her aunt and her colorful collection of friends, it looks as though Cece has arrived in paradise. But when a darker side of the southern dream threatens this delicate newfound happiness, Aunt Tutti and her friends must rally to Cece's aid. A beautiful, bittersweet tale, Saving Cece Honeycutt, is the unforgettable story of a girl who fights and triumphs against all that life throws at her. It sounds interesting, and I think it has quite a high rating on the Goodreads. Another one is Middagen by Herman Koch. It's a Norwegian edition of the dinner. I think that is how it's called. It's about, I think, 2 pairs that sits in the restaurant and chats, and while they chat they found a lot of things about each other, I think. And I'm not sure, but I think there's a movie by this book. Another book that I got was by Sarah Jo Gunajun. The original title of this one is Good Night June. Go figure. I think it's about a woman who's has a good career or something like that, and I think someone in her family dies and she has to go and do the cleaning of the property or something like that. I don't know actually. First I bought this book, and after that I only tried to find out what it is about. It just caught my attention because I know a lot of people like Sarah Jo books, and I haven't read yet any of her books, although I have few, so I will try to read this one. The other book that I've got was The Girl on the Cliff by Lucinda Riley. I have read one book by Lucinda Riley, The Midnight Rose, and I have few other of her books, and I like her writing style. I love that book that I already have read. It's historical fiction, I think, and I won't be surprised that this book will also be in few time periods. Yeah, so I would like to read this one too. It's I can read you also a little bit about this. Troubled by recent loss, Granny Ryan has returned to the island and the arms of her loving family, and it is here on the cliff edge that she first meets a young girl, Aurora, who will profoundly change her life. Mysteriously drawn to Aurora, Grania discovers that the histories of their families are strangely and deeply entwined. From a bittersweet romance in wartime London to a troubled relationship in contemporary New York, from devotion to a foundling child to forgotten memories of a lost brother, the Ryans and the Lisles past and present have been entangled for a century. Ultimately, it will be Aurora whose intuition and remarkable spirit help break the spell and unlock the chains of the past. Haunting, uplifting, and deeply moving, Aurora's story tells of the triumph of hope over loss. Typical Lucinda Riley book. I think I will enjoy this book a lot. And the other one that I found quite cheap was also a Norwegian edition, Bursdagsgaven by Sue Monk Kidd. Its original title is... what is the original title? The Invention of Wings. I'm not sure what this book is about. I just loved the cover. This book was bought because of the cover. From what I'm understanding, this will be a story about slaves. How it begins is that there's a girl Sarah, and she's 11 years old, and the parents gives her a slave girl, I think, for her birthday, and she says no for that gift, and I presume they both became friends or something like that. And it has also a very high rating on Goodreads. And the last one I found in the second-hand shop was Kom Hjem by Julie Kibler. It's also a Norwegian edition. The original title of this one is Calling Me Home. It's about two people who are in different race and they fall in love or something like that. I think when I was in the shop, I had with me my phone, and firstly what I did was check the rating on Goodreads, and I think this one also had a very high rating, so I will try to read this book as soon as possible. And the last one I bought on the last day of June, and it was such a good bargain. I can't believe myself yet. I found a Min Historia or Unbecoming by Michelle Obama, and this book is new. I found it in a bookshop. It was the last one on the shelf, and I'm not surprised. Why? Because originally this book costs almost 450 kroons, about $50 or $40 or 40 pounds, something like that on and I bought it for 45 kroons, about $5 around, so you can imagine the difference. So I was so glad that I found that book, because I heard only amazing things. I didn't heard any person that said it wasn't interesting to read. So yay, very happy. Yeah, so that was my book haul. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.